Hey, Treasure History. Today's essential question is, what did Shakespeare do for the English language? Well, yesterday we learned about William Shakespeare's life and what theater was like in his day. Do you remember the name of his theater, which was built in London? So, did you ever read any Dr. Seuss books when you were younger? He's got all these silly rhyming lines, and he makes up words to fit exactly what he wants to say. He plays with sounds and the way that the words look. And his books were super popular because of lines like this. Today you are you. That is truer than true. There's no one alive that is youer than you. As you can see, he made words work for him. Youer is not a real word, but it rhymes with truer. So Dr. Seuss charmed everybody with passages like this from his books. Well, 400 years before Dr. Seuss was around, there was Shakespeare. As you know from reading Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare was pretty much a master of language. But something you might not already know is that Shakespeare actually invented hundreds of English words. Or, as historians admit, if he didn't actually invent them, he at least wrote them down on paper for the first time. Here are some words that we use today that I bet you didn't realize first came from Shakespeare. Check out a lot of these words. They're compound words, or two words put together to create meaning. Shakespeare often used words that already existed and put them together or added prefixes and suffixes in order to create imagery. These words were meant to put a picture in your mind. How about this one? What do you think that this is meaning? We got eye, we got a ball. If you said eyeball, then you're totally thinking the right way. And an eyeball is this picture in your mind that I bet you can't get out of it now. Shakespeare wasn't content with just an eye. He wanted to make sure that we were picturing in our head the whole roundness of the eyeball in somebody's head. So he was more descriptive. How about this one? We got noise and less, which means to not have something or be without. So if you're without noise, you're silent or noiseless. That's a word that Shakespeare made up to give more detail to his plays. How about this one? We got blood, we got a stain. Before Shakespeare said blood stain, nobody had that exact picture of such gruesome clothes or curtains covered with blood the way that you might be picturing in your head right now. I'm not going to show a picture of a blood stain because that's gross, but you get what I'm saying. So, to Shakespeare, it didn't matter if a word didn't actually exist. If he liked how it sounded and it painted a picture in the audience's mind, then he would use it. Because of Shakespeare's creativity with language, he was also really good at insulting people. He was the master of throwing shade. He made up tons of insulting words, like pig nut, hugger mugger, bum bailey, death token, pigeon egg, nut hook, maggot pie. Just saying those words make me laugh, and you reading some of these may be making you giggle too. And that's the point. Remember, Shakespeare was a gifted comedy writer. So some of the words he made up to insult people are the funniest words that anyone has ever made up. He also put together some pretty good insult sentences. You small gray-coated gnat. Peace, ye fat guts. Thou art a foul, undigested lump. We're going to work more with phrases like this after you're done with your video. So we're going to spend class today playing with Shakespeare's language. Yes, including his insults. So get your thick skin on today. Don't be offended if somebody calls you a coxcomb, or a saucy boy, or a tartly woman. It's all for comedy and for learning. For now, X out and follow your playlist to find a funny Shakespearean insult video.